Welcome to the fucking news. I'm your host, Kellerman, and here's some of the shit that's been going on in the world around you. In Spain, protesters threw mud and eggs at the king, queen, and prime minister as they visited a town that had been partially destroyed by last week's flooding. The death toll from which is now being reported as over 200 people, with little help from the government to aid survivors, though after all of this, they are now sending in 10,000 troops and police officers. And I think it's worth mentioning that I've been getting a lot of private messages from people saying that the death toll is much, much higher than what's being reported. Obviously, I have no way of verifying that, but it's not a good situation over there. In Indonesia, the Luatobi Laki-Laki volcano erupted, and while that may sound funny, 10 people died and over 10,000 people have been affected. That's not funny. While families were trick-or-treating at a mall in Vancouver, a man walked up and shot another man at point-blank range, killing him and injuring 2 others. The shooter was apprehended, but refuses to give a reason as to why he did it. Tomorrow is election night in the United States, and I'm probably going to go live on Substack, so make sure you're following me there. And also in the United States, a 17-year-old shot and killed 2 people and injured 7 others at an outdoor Halloween celebration in Orlando, Florida. He was also apprehended, and he also did not give a reason as to why he did it. Welcome to the fucking news. I'm your host, Kellerman, and here's some of the shit going on in the world around you. In Serbia, a roof collapsed last week at a train station, killing 14 people and severely injuring 3 more. Now, thousands of people are protesting, blaming government negligence and corruption for the incident. Category 3 Hurricane Rafael hit Cuba, knocking out the entire country's power grid again. In Jerusalem, thousands of Israelis are protesting the firing of Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. In Germany, Chancellor Olaf Scholz fired Finance Minister Christian Lindner, which effectively marks the collapse of the 3-party coalition government that's led the country for the last 3 years. The Ukrainian military had its first confrontation with North Korean military in Kursk, but no casualty numbers were reported. And you probably already know, but in the United States, Donald Trump won the presidential election with a current total of 294 votes to Harris's 223. Tell me how you feel about it in the comments and follow me if you give a shit. Welcome to the fucking news. I'm your host, Kellerman, and here's some of the shit going on in the world around you. In the United States, California Governor Gavin Newsom has declared a state of emergency in Ventura County, where 14,000 people have received evacuation notices as a rapidly growing wildfire has burned over 20,000 acres, almost 100 homes have been destroyed, and thousands more are under threat. In South Carolina, 43 monkeys escaped from the Alpha Genesis Research Facility, which is a company that breeds monkeys for medical testing and research. So if you're in South Carolina and you see a bunch of monkeys, don't go near them. I saw more than a few headlines today that seem to be reporting Hamas suddenly wanting to talk peace and Putin being ready to negotiate. And I just want to clarify for anybody confused. First of all, Trump doesn't take office until January, so nothing would get resolved until then. And second of all, what both of those leaders actually said is basically just that they're looking forward to talking to someone new. Or old, I mean, you know what I mean. And to be honest, I don't think Hamas is going to be very happy. Putin, we'll see. And Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced plans to introduce new legislation to Parliament that would set an age limit of 16 years for kids to start using social media and hold the platforms responsible for enforcing it. Tell me what you think about that, and follow me if you give a shit. Welcome to a special report. I'm your host, Kellerman, and I don't know exactly how my audience skews, but I keep my reporting pretty down the middle, so I'm hoping it's about 50-50, which means that half of you are stoked that Donald Trump won the US presidential election, and the other half of you are devastated. I asked how people were feeling about the results on my Instagram story and got a lot of responses, so I thought it'd be fun to flip through them randomly and see what you guys said. Scared, feeling fantastic. Trump 2024, baby. Very honestly, I'm glad I'm not American. Thank God over here. I did literally just flipping randomly here. Relieved. Freedom of speech. I want to jump off a fucking skyscraper. I'm moving. I just work here. Let's go, America. Won't be as bad as you think. Outstanding. Great. Just good. Hopeless. The point I'm illustrating is that we are incredibly divided as Americans, and I want to offer just a little bit of optimism. I hope that there is some way, somehow, that we can all break our biases and find a way to come together as Americans. Follow me if you give a shit. Welcome to the f***ing news. I'm your host, Kellerman, and here's some of the shit going on in the world around you. In Canada, the CEO of cryptocurrency firm WonderFi was kidnapped and held for ransom, released the same day uninjured after transferring nearly $1 million to the kidnappers. This video of this guy's face is crazy. In Amsterdam, clashes broke out between pro-Palestine and pro-Israel soccer fans after a match, but then also people went and sought out Israeli soccer club fans throughout the city and beat the shit out of them. 5 people were hospitalized and 62 people were arrested. A new study was released by the UN Human Rights Office, which has verified right around 9,000 of the deaths in Gaza, and of those, 70% were women and children. And the FBI have arrested 3 men, charging them with participating in an Iranian-backed plot to assassinate several Iranian dissidents within the United States and Donald Trump. Follow me if you give a shit.